Okay, so in today's live lesson, we have Tim, who was struggling with ball striking with his irons, but by the end of the lesson, we had him hitting some great strikes, good compression, no more shanks with a beautiful little draw, and we did it in 2 very simple steps. And these are mistakes that we continuously see you guys make. Okay, Tim, so let's take you through exactly what you're doing then to make sense. So some inconsistent shots, some poor strikes, and then a real nice one towards the end. Let's look at the good things first. From down the line, your club moves pretty close to the swing plane on the way back, okay? On the way down, it shifts maybe a little ahead of the swing plane, but it's not necessarily what we would call over the top and left. You've actually got a club path, which is a little to the right, believe it or not. You thought it was left, which is interesting. So we get it a little over in front of the plane, it shifts this way, and that's what causes your shanks, okay? Now, why that happens from face on is that the first move in your golf swing is much more of the hands and the arms. So we see the first move away, the right arm and the arms go, and the right shoulder here hasn't really moved. It sort of kicks in a little late. So we've got an early arm swing and then a late body swing, which really throws everything off, which often causes, as soon as we see this, what we call a disconnection, hands and body, we often see that the club wants to move forward. Okay,
makes sense.
So this is the first thing we're going to work on one more thing after this. But the first part of the session we're going to do today is get everything working as what would be one piece. Okay, perfect. So your normal move would be just arms. What I'm going to do, I'm going to sort of encourage the movement now to feel for you. So we're going to swing back, and I'm going to encourage this motion. Okay, what does that feel like, difference?
Well, it immediately feels bigger.
Okay.
I tend to, I even have a little
Yes.
hesitation move that I think I use as a trigger.
Yep.
And then I think that's when I'm already cocking the wrist with it, in a sense. So you're suggesting...
Yes, exactly that. Very, very different. Now,
Right.
if I were to just come and place my hand on your right shoulder, as you move the club away, I want my hand to move. So just do a backswing now. Now I can feel my hand moving now behind you, and there's your backswing. That's a very different motion to what you would normally do.
Yep.
No, if you just go arms now, your old one would just be arms. This would stay quite still.
Right. It's just more like this.
So this actually, if we do that again, this shoulder now is actually moving back. There you go. And this is now facing the target. Feel the difference in that?
Feel the difference, yeah. I feel a stretch back there too.
Feel the stretch, okay, good.
But ironically, it almost feels more compact in its own way.
Yeah.
Where like I told you before, I tend to get compact to try to straighten it out or to fix it. But that feels more compact in a good way.
Good. A lot of people will do this because they're very fixated on keeping their head still.
Right.
So what happens is that when we think head still, we'll do this because watch what happens to the head if I turn. The head will actually start to turn, which is a good thing. You can say how my peak of the cap's rotated.
Right.
We actually want that to happen.
Okay.
If we think about keeping this really still, we'll see people just not using their body at all, which will create this narrowness in the swing.
Right.
Most people are almost trying to restrict movement,
Right.
especially when it goes wrong.
Right.
We want you to move more freely. We talk a lot about having a freedom, some freedom in the golf swing. And if we can give you that today, it changes so much.
Makes sense.
Make sense?
Yep.
Okay, let's have a couple of practice swings then. Now you've got that concept and feel in your mind. Excellent. And what I'm seeing there, which I love, is this triangle that we've created with the arms and the shoulders. You're moving that triangle to the right, whereas before we'd sort of break down that triangle like this. And this little rehearsal for you here, where you just do this, I'm like, that's perfect. That looks really solid. Good?
It
Okay.
feels different. I can feel myself wanting to kind of go back into the reset and, use that as it. But
well, now you've got the awareness.
right.
Once you've got the awareness, you can change.
Right.
Just stand just here for me
Okay.
now. This is what I want you to do on this first one. We're going to tee the ball up. Why we tee the ball up, especially on when you're learning a new movement, is that funny thing happens when we get the golf ball there.
Right.
We want to hit that
Attack
golf
it.
ball, and it takes our focus.
Right.
When the ball's teed up, it gives us a bit more freedom to think about the moves. So I want you to tee it up like this. Notice how slow. I like you doing this little rehearsal. And then I want you to hit a shot where you go super slow, turn, and then through.
Okay.
So just feeling as if you can get that body moving back and through, not really concerned about the golf ball.
Okay.
That's okay. That's okay. And this is why we tee it up. Okay, good. Okay. One thing that's going to help us today. Do you know what attack angle means if I say what the attack angle?
Not totally, no.
Okay, so the attack angle is basically when the club approaches the golf ball, it can be hitting down,
Right.
which is what we want for an iron.
Right.
It could be hitting level or it could be hitting up. With the driver, we want to hit ideally up on the golf ball. With an iron, we want to hit down. Now yours is hitting down, but it's only slightly.
Uh-huh.
Now, if you address the ball for me again, I'd like to get it to be a little bit more. That last one was 1.7. If I just show you where your ball is relative to your feet, notice how it's quite far forward in the
Right,
stance.
which would make it harder to hit down on it.
Yeah, it makes it harder to get the divot past
Right.
the ball.
Right.
So if you can just edge to the left for me, good. I want to see it center or even just head of center. So
Okay.
that's going to help with the strike.
Okay.
That was nice.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Good.
Big high draw.
And that'll come. Like for me on this first few, your brain's going. Let me think. Let me
Yep.
feel. This is all part of the change and the improvement. Love the height on that though. That was much more likely like what I want to see it. So good stuff. That's the first part. Let's go into the next part then, which is more about the through swing. So what you tend to do on the way through, I'll face the camera here actually now. What you tend to do on the way through is that from here on the way down, and we're going to focus on the head. The head stays sort of back,
Uh-huh.
and we hang back with the upper body. We get a little bit of what we call a slide. The arms release past the body, and then we finish sort of more like this. So this sort of leaning back and up. Very hard to compress from there. Very hard to get the ball followed by the turf. What we'd love to see more for you is instead of actually hanging back here with the head, I want to see us release everything through. And there's no way for you at the moment your head's going to beat it to the ball.
Right.
I want you to feel the next part now. We're really going to make sure that you're turning on the way through.
Okay.
And this is really going to help us get that ground past the golf ball. When we do this, we very much hit more on the way up. So I'd love to test, first of all, I'd love to test the mobility in your hips.
Okay. Am I taking a normal stance?
We're
or
just going to you're going to mirror me. So let's hit
Okay.
left foot like that.
Okay.
Perfect. Right foot just on the toe. And all I want you to do from there is I want you to turn your hips as far as you can go to the right. Okay, really good. And again. Okay, this is more than what we would normally see on the majority of
this is
people.
good.
So this
Yeah.
is actually really nice.
Is it?
So let's take your setup.
Okay.
So we've got two thoughts. Now we're working on this sort of through swing. Now all I'm going to do for you now is I'm just going to move you through the swing,
Okay.
and I want you to tell me what it feels like.
All right.
Okay. And I like you flaring this foot out just a fraction.
Okay.
Good. Perfect. Okay. So keep hold of the club.
Okay.
Right, what we're going to do now, I'm going to move you through.
Okay.
Okay. Keep turning through with me. Keep turning through with me. Okay, we're going to get up onto this toe, and we're going to finish here. What do you notice?
I'm way more turned.
Way more turned.
Way
yeah?
more turned.
What
yeah.
do you know? Where does it feel? Hips, torso,
It feels the whole thing.
the whole
My-
thing, yeah?
My shoulders, the whole thing feels way more rotated.
Brilliant.
I feel like I'm rotating, but obviously I'm not. And
No,
I
you-
think
yeah,
that's
yes.
why I finish short. You know what I mean? I don't really fully extend. I think I just kind of wrap around myself in a sense, as opposed to turn.
Correct.
Right.
Yeah. So notice here we've got the belt buckle pointing down the target. We've got the microphone you've got on pointing down the target. We might just have some simple cues for you that might be, okay, let's just finish with these facing the target. Okay, very, very different. Nice.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's swap places again.
Okay.
Normally we don't, like I said, normally we don't do two things, but I think you can take it, and it's almost with what we do here. If I send you away here now and only give you this, it's going to be better, but it's not going to be as good as what it can be if we get the next part. So now, practice swings now. Love this rehearsal. Yeah.
Yep.
We're then going to make sure that we turn, but then we're going to make sure we turn and we hold our finish where we now feel that we are facing that target. Okay, very nice. Okay, so we give one a go?
Yep, let's try one.
Doesn't matter about speed, doesn't matter about where the ball goes.
Okay.
Just hold that finish for me and see if you can brush the ground with it. Hold it.
Yeah, I fell.
That's okay, that's good. It's going to challenge your balance now
Yeah,
as well.
a little bit.
Your body's doing some new things. This is all great things. Hold it.
Ooh.
Hold it. Do not move.
Ooh.
Okay, best shot you've hit today by far. Look at that finish.
Yeah.
Chest, hips, beautiful. One thing I want to show you on this. Look at the ground. Ball, turf. Ball, turf.
And it felt like the easiest shot of the day.
Hold it. Don't move.
So good.
It's just such a good golf shot. Look at that finish now as well. Did I capture that one? I hope I did.
Yes, it was
I
recording,
really did.
Andy.
I really did.
Good.
Spin
How did
was
that feel?
nice.
Felt excellent. It felt, it's a strange phenomenon for me to feel like it felt more controlled than me trying to control it.
Okay, let's look at the before and after. Brilliant work there, Tim. So we can see on screen now the before, there was a lot of arms moving on the way back early. And then in the downswing, we had that sort of slide and head stayed back. Head was down for a long time. And we didn't really finish with any body rotation. You'll see that after now, we'll see backswing could be still better, but that's work in progress. But the biggest thing on this one was we really allowed the body now to face that target. Head was working through, and the shot was just way different.
Right, it's a lot different. Thank you.
Great work, Tim.
Thank you.
Guys, hope you enjoyed that. Now look, if you would like to halve your handicap, make sure you check out the Me and My Golf membership in the link below. And also, if you want some golf schools here at the Grand, check out the link there also, and we'll see you again soon.